This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
My God! That is amazing!
Phones down, glasses up, at least for a moment, as the sun ducked behind the moon.
First time in totality, amazing. Definitely worth the hour-and-a-half drive to get here.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. People gathered in towns all across the path of totality. For some, it was a twice-in-a-lifetime event. We begin our coverage in Cape Girardeau, where city leaders have been preparing for an influx of tourists, and they say the crowd exceeded their expectations. That's where we find Alan Allred and Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
And they had some of the best views along the path, guys.
We certainly did, didn't we,
Yes,
Scott?
it was an absolutely awesome experience this afternoon.
We're here at the Sportsplex in Cape Girardeau. They also had a big bash here in 2017. People started showing up at 5 a.m.
Yes.
Doors opened at
Like 10, yeah.
And some people even slept in their cars in nearby parking lots. And then as soon as that moon just began covering the sun, even just a little bit, it got so quiet out
And the
here.
temperatures dropped too. You know, we
Very
knew that
much.
was coming, but we were up about 76 degrees and we went down to 67 degrees. So it was a dramatic experience. The wind slackened. What a gorgeous sight it was to see the moon move entirely over the sun.
They had 25 viewing parties all over Cape, tens of thousands of people descending on this city, bringing in hundreds of thousands of tourism dollars. And then, of course, we had people here from 36 states. We saw 36 different license plates, but then people from Australia to India to Canada, just to share these 4 minutes together.
What really amazed me is the phenomenon to see so many people from all over the places, and also meeting people share the same passion with all kind of gadgets, trying to capture this experience.
You know, it was really cool because a lot of people did bring their specially equipped, telescopes and cameras, because you had to have special lenses to see it. And there was just this really big aura of excitement around here as that was taking place, and everybody capturing, this moment in time, because not everybody in the country gets to see this. And for those of us that have been in the path of totality in 2017, again in 24, this was pretty amazing, twice.
And yes, we are definitely spoiled. From Cape Girardeau to Collinsville, we do have a team of reporters across the region for coverage for you today. Let's begin with Holden Kerwicki. He is in Carbondale, one of the few places in the path of totality for both the 2017 solar eclipse and the 2024 solar eclipse. Holden.
Well, and it was both breathtaking and bittersweet here in Carbondale today. While you mentioned most places don't get eclipses that often, we've actually had 2 here in Southern Illinois in the past 7 years, but this is the last one that will come across Southern Illinois for at least 300 more years. After clouds ruined the SIU eclipse party in 2017, the skies over Carbondale were crystal clear for the 13,000 plus that packed inside Saluki Stadium, where it was a game day-like atmosphere. In fact, some people actually chose to set up tents and telescopes outside in an effort to avoid the crowds inside the stadium. Becca Perry and her newborns made the trip from Huntsville, Alabama to Southern Illinois for what truly could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It was just beautiful. I'd always see videos where people were ugly crying, and I was like, what is their deal? But I kind of shed a couple tears myself like a dork, but it's just like the beautiful white light around it. You can't even, it's just undescribable.
Now, I tried to talk to Becca's kids, but obviously the eclipse left them, well, speechless. But think about this just for a minute. Those little boys that you saw strapped on her chest, the next time there's an eclipse in North America that goes from coast to coast, that's in 2045. Those little boys are actually going to be 22 years old. Reporting in Carbondale, Illinois, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
And somehow, Holden, I imagine that they will end up taking their mom and dad to see the eclipse. Now, there were several cities in Missouri that experienced totality today, including Farmington. Hundreds of people gathered this afternoon at Engler Park. Right now, 5 on your side's Tracy Hinson there to experience the eclipse. She's there now live, and things have certainly quieted down a bit. Tracy?
Really, it's just me and the ball players now. There were about a few thousand people here earlier today, all watching the eclipse. This is a huge park, so it was very spread out. Really, all of our images from today just don't take in how many people were here to share in the experience. Now, I did have my strainer out for about an hour and 15 minutes. Lots of people came by to check out what we could see here. So what you'll see in this video is the strainer projecting multiple images of the eclipse, starting out before the moon entered the picture, just round circles like normal. But as it kept going, you can see the circles started to fill in. Re-recorded every 15 minutes leading up to totality. Then at totality, nothing, of course. No sun to cast those shadows. Fun for us and for others, a moment to bask in the energy of the sun.
We made these at the festival. They're solar headdresses. We hope they'll capture the energy of the eclipse.
Yeah. There you go.
And we also mined for some special rocks, Druzy quartz, and we have special rocks that we're going to get charged from the sun today. And we're going to give them as gifts to our family and friends back home.
Well, those very kind Minnesotans gave me my very own mined Missouri jewelry that they got special for today. We'll see if it takes the energy of the eclipse back home with me. It'll be something I treasure for years to come. Live in Farmington, Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
For people who were not in the path of totality, it was still a pretty good show. That includes Collinsville, where city leaders held an eclipse watch party there as well. Justina Coronel has been in Collinsville and continues our team coverage.
Yeah, and right now it may be quiet. It is completely empty, but it was packed earlier today with people. There was hundreds of people here looking up at the skies, and there was music, there was dancing, and lots of fun. Now, there were local vendors from the Metro East setup shop, and we also had kids playing in front of the bubble bus, and there were fire blowers performing right before the clock hit 2:01. When the partial eclipse happened, it got cooler, darker, and the lights on the street automatically turned on. Now, some people I spoke to say they'll never forget this moment. I spoke to one woman from Glen Carbon, Joanne Waymire. She came with her sister and her best friend. She said they're retired and wanted a fun atmosphere. Of course, perfect spot to do that. Waymire said while she saw the eclipse in 2017, this time was also special.
We had glasses left over from 2017, so hopefully they worked. We did see it. Awesome. It's a must-see.
Now, others tell me this was really a bonding experience. I spoke to one dad from Belleville. He brought his 3-year-old son. He said he got emotional. It was just a really special moment for them to have with each other. Now, let's send it back to the desk.
We had people travel thousands of miles all the way from Australia, like we mentioned, to see this. And we got to see it for twice as long as we did in 2017.
Yeah,
it was
over
only
4 minutes.
2 minutes 7 years ago.
Yeah, and so 4 whole minutes this time. It seemed like it went awfully fast, but what an amazing sight to see. You know, that sunset essentially just rolled towards you, and then the 360 sunset all around you while you're in totality. An amazing experience out here for sure.
Mike, Kelly.
It does amaze me that people from all over the world came to Cape Girardeau and other places.
But what I also noticed, Scott and Ann, what I also noticed is that as we were watching the eclipse special and watching your live shots a little earlier today, after the 4 minutes, we looked behind you and, you know, it started to get light again. And then we saw people in their cars starting to pull away. They were there for the 4 minutes and then moved on.
I will say it wasn't that many people. Plus, then they were in standstill traffic for an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah, and some of them are still on 55 right now. They haven't made it to Festus yet, Mike.
All right, thanks, you guys. And for all things total solar eclipse, all you have to do is text the word, of course, eclipse, to 314-425-5355, and we will send you a link.
And our coverage of the eclipse